So we're back. This is where I left off. So once we understand that in order for us to read line by line, we use our arrow key up or down, and it's just going to read us line by line. However, if it's just taking too long and we don't want it to read line by line, we can ask it to read by paragraph. You ready? So what I want you to do, let me see if you can see my fingers. You're going to do Option, Alt, key, and you're going to do your down arrow.
By 1/29/2020, when given a math assignment in Nemeth code, Math Braille, student will read.
So let me describe what it's doing now. It moved the cursor to the end of that paragraph. So that's all it's going to read, and it's going to read that whole paragraph, okay? If you want it to read again, line by line, use your up arrow or down arrow to read line by line, okay? However, if it's done reading this paragraph and you're like, oh no, I need to hear the paragraph again, it's okay. Do your Option or Alt key down and then arrow up once, and it's going to read that whole paragraph again. Let me show you.
By 1/29/2020, when given a math assignment in Nemeth code, Math Braille, student will read the math problems and write his answers using the Nemeth code for at least 50% of the assignment, improving his Nemeth reading and writing skills for completing math assignments from 20% of assignments completed. Using Nemeth code to 50% of assignments completed using Nemeth code as measured by weekly data collection.
And it's going to stop. So it read to the end of that paragraph, okay? So it's like, okay, it read to the end of the paragraph. Let me get to the next paragraph. So what you're going to do is you're going to do an Option down arrow so it could take you to the end of the paragraph that just was read to you, and you don't have to listen to that paragraph again. It's going to try to let you hear it again. Just hit Control and keep moving your arrows. Let me show you how. So I'm going to do Option Alt key down, and then with my other finger I'm going to hit my arrow down once.
By 1/29/2020.
And I'm going to hit Control because I'm going to hit my Control key because I read that already. It read that to me already. I want to get to my next paragraph. So I'm going to navigate using my arrow keys down.
You are no longer editing near collaborators.
I'm done with that one.
Annual goal number 2, reading.
Oh, that's annual goal number 2. Okay, it's reading. So if I wanted to read line by line, I get, again, arrows.
By 1/29/2020, when given a reading activity, student will use Braille.
And it stops. If you want it to read the paragraph, remember, Option key or Alt key down, and then arrow down once.
By 1/29/2020, when given a reading activity, student will use Braille to read a passage or listen to oral passages, improving ability to.
And it's going to do the same thing. It's going to read that whole paragraph. And again, if you want to review that whole paragraph again, Option Alt key up, and it's going to take you to the top, okay?
New line. Annual goal number 3, vision.
And it's the same thing.
Skill.
You can keep going.
By 1/29/2020, when given an
If you like it reading line by line, you can just keep navigating by using your down arrow again. Or if you need things repeated, use your up arrow again.
Skill.
And
Annual
it's going
goal,
to take
new
you
line.
back. Okay?
Annual skill. Self-determination.
Okay, so let me show you something else here real quick. Okay, and so the last thing I want to show you, if you need to go and say, for example, this is the bottom of my page and I'm done with this, or I want to review or go back, you can also navigate by just using your Option key up.
By 1/29 annual new line. Annabelle Lamas is editing this paragraph. By 1/20.
And just keep going up. So Option key will take you paragraph by paragraph. And just say, for example, oh, you know what? I wanted to get to this section, but I want it again to read line by line. So you
Math
would.
Braille. Student will read the math problems and write his answers
So
using
you
the
would
Nemeth
do
code
that.
for at least 50%.
However, if there's a particular word that you did not understand and you wanted to read word for word to you, you're going to hit your Option Alt key.
Answers.
And you're going to hit your right arrow this time. Not up and down. That's what we've been using this whole time. Now it's your right arrow. So Option key down.
Using the Nemeth code.
Oh, that's what it was. Nemeth code. But what was it again? So I want to go back. So Option key down and then left arrow.
Code. Nemeth.
And that's how you go word for word. Okay? Word by word. Sorry. Backwards. Again, if I want to go back to just reading by lines, just use your arrow up and down.
Improving his Nemeth reading and writing skills for completing.
And then that's it. If you want to know how to spell Nemeth, for example, because that's what I want to spell.
Nemeth.
That's the word I want to spell, and I want to hear how to spell it because I can't see it. I'm just going to use my arrow without my option key or my alt key.
N E M E T H.
Okay. I'm just going to do tap, tap, tap and make sure I'm capturing that and listening. If I want to go backwards to that same word and it's like, wait, how do I spell it again? Option key down, left arrow once.
Nemeth.
Nemeth. And so if I want to spell it again,
N
right arrow just one by one.
E M E T H.
Okay. And so let's see what else. I think that is it. You have to make sure that it's in editing mode so that you can control your cursor and ask it to read paragraph by paragraph, line by line, word by word, or letter by letter. Another kind of cool trick is if you're done spelling Nemeth and you want to just go to the end of that line, you can hit your control key down, arrow key to the right.
Completing.
And it takes you right to the end of that line. And it tells you the last word in this line is completing. And let me try it again and see what it does. It's going to probably block me. Control down. And I'm going to hit arrow key once.
Completing.
And it's going to tell me the same thing. Completing, completing.
Completing. Completing.
Because there's nothing else at the end of that line. So I'm going to hit my arrow key down once.
Math assignments from 20% of assignments completed using.
So that's kind of nice to get to the end of one line so that you know my cursor's at the end of this line. And it's easier to control sometimes your navigation when you are in VoiceOver. I think that's all I have for you. When you are when you are done with reading this. Okay, sorry, this video has gotten too long. So let's just say I'm at the end of my page, because I am at the end of my page, and I want to get back to the top. What I will do is I'm going to hit my command key. So it's the key closest to your space bar. So your command key, and I'm going to hold that, and I'm going to use my arrow to the top, or my up arrow once.
Student, Prosser.
And it took me to the top of my document. And it's like, oh no, I forgot something. I need to go to the bottom of my document. And I don't want to have to do paragraph by paragraph by paragraph. I'm going to do the same thing. Command key down once. Arrow key down.
Assessments.
And it took me to the bottom of my page. So now I could navigate a lot easier because what I was looking for was towards the bottom of my document. Does that make sense? I hope so. So I'm going to get back to the top of my document, which is command up arrow.
Student, Prosser.
There I am. And let's just say, for example, I finished reading this. I want to exit out. Always to exit, you can do VO home.
Doc, mail.
And it takes you right to your home page.
Unread emails.
Anyway, let me know if that helps you. I'm so happy I'm able to help sometimes. Have a good one, everyone.